Thank you very much. Tell them that I said thank you. I love doing the stuff. It gives me something to do.
We'll send him a gift certificate from thepegs.com.
Oh gosh. You know, it's so one of our friends who has a kid billeted here, and she's pretty hilarious too. It was Erin. When I said that, I didn't even think about what I was saying and the negative connotation that that could have. I mean, not that I wouldn't have said it anyway, because sometimes I just run my mouth, but I did not realize Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Monument, Colorado. Tonight's game is against Okanagan Hockey, Colorado. And this will be game 2 against these guys this season. The first game, the Rampage boys came out with a W. And this will be our first time playing them at home. And which sounds like it should be an advantage, because I think with most teams, playing at home is an advantage. The one thing that we've learned over the years is the officials who hate us the most are the ones who ref the games right here in this rink. So we'll see if tonight proves any different, but I doubt it. So the boys are going to have to play a clean game, or else these guys here are going to send them to the box quite a bit, I have a feeling. So, but yeah, hopefully the boys are ready to go and have no problem, putting in the same effort they gave the first game, and hopefully we'll come out with the same result. We do have Mr. Liam Holmes is geared up again tonight, so that's good to see him in and off of concussion protocol. Unfortunately, Mr. Espirito is still not dressed out tonight, so I'm assuming he is still in the recovery and not yet cleared to play. So hopefully he'll have a little time to get all set up. And I know, you guys are going to get a chance to see. I'm going to pan over to. I'm very jealous of the setup going on here to my right. But so Sonia and I have decided what our Christmas list looks like for Empty Pockets Hockey this season.
No, somebody has to set it up.
And honestly, I'm just kidding about that. I wouldn't even know what to do with half of the stuff that's over there. So, yeah, a little bit simpler setup, but I'm still a little jealous. It looks very cool. And, yeah. But we at Empty Pockets Hockey are on a very appropriate budget for the name we gave ourselves. All right, we got about just 2 minutes left of the warm-up period, and then we'll get going period number 1. Like I said, as far as scouting report goes, we do have Liam Holmes back in the lineup again tonight. I do not know who will be in that quite yet. And we will still be down one skater, which is Alex Espirito. Hopefully he'll get all healed up and be ready to go for Minnesota next weekend. Very sad that I won't be able to do the live stream for you guys next weekend. Licensing agreements, legal tender, spreadsheets, all that kind of stuff. Somebody decided that it's a null-sponsored tournament, I believe, so in that, they're the only ones that get to... no, that's muffled. All right, I'm going to try repositioning my microphone a little bit. Let's see if it gets any better. Thank you to whoever is letting me know. I appreciate it. Hopefully that's a little bit better, but we'll see. And if it's not, then I don't know. "33 seconds left in the warm-up period. Oh, but yeah, back to the previous conversation. So next weekend, I believe that Null TV will stream the games. I don't know if all 4 of them will be streamed. I really don't know what to expect there, but in order to watch it on Null TV, you got to go to nulltv.com, and I think the most cost-effective way is to sign up for for a monthly membership and then cancel it after the weekend's over. And that's per Jessica's comments earlier today on Crossbar. Thank you, Jessica, for looking that up. All right, time's expired on the warm-up. They'll recollect the pucks. They'll get together, give each other a pep talk, and then we'll get going. All right, sounds like the microphone got a little bit better. Thank you, Mr. Eddie Foster, for making sure that I'm all taken care of and have everything ready to go. Thanks, Eddie. I miss you, buddy. All right, out on the ice to get us started, period number one. We've got Whitted, Drexel, Banyan, Bisley, and Bennett. And Ryder Shields in net. All right, here we go. Period number one. All right, tied up on the draw. Drexel's going to send it hard into the zone and get a chase. Puck back behind the Okanagan net. They send it up the far wall. Whitted gets in there, ties things up momentarily. Puck is down in the corner. Okanagan picks it up. They're back behind their own net with it. Send it out to the far side corner. Okanagan up to neutral zone. They're going to chip it into the Rampage zone to go to the far wall. Bisley ties things up on the far wall. Whitted gets in there to help out. Puck still stuck on the far wall. Whitted's going to send it up and out. And it looked to me like it went off the hand of an Okanagan player, but maybe not. So we had a whistle for icing. Faceoff will be back in the Rampage zone. 19:28 left in period number one. Fresh set of skaters out on the ice. We've got Friedis, Whittingham, Dormer, Butler, and White. Okanagan wins the draw, recollects it in the circle. Shot deflects way up in the air, bounces down low. Bouncing around out front, Okanagan picks it up, sends it up to the, gets stuck and down in the corner on the near side. Puck comes up the wall, the near side point. Sent through bodies. Shields turns to the side. It goes down low. Puck ends up back in the near side corner. Dormer's going to pick it up on the wall, sends it up and out of the zone. Whittingham into the Okanagan zone with it over to White. Backhands it towards the net, and now it gets cleared out to the near side corner. Battle for the puck down low. You can't really see who's in there. Back up the wall on the near side and still in the zone. Gets sent back in. Friedis is going to get chased into the corner after it. Puck bounces around up front. Okanagan picks it up. They're up and out of the zone to neutral ice. Into the Rampage zone on the near side. Puck back behind the Rampage net. And then Dormer sends it up. I'm sorry, that's Fury. Max Fuhr. All right, skate to the near side. Bennett up to Sarver. Bounces up and out of the zone. Okanagan recollects. They're going to go to the far side. Back into the Rampage zone deep. Sarver goes after it in the corner. Puck up the far wall. Flanagan turns with it, sends it over to Judkins. Judkins wrangles it in, takes the red line, dumps it in, gives chase. Puck roomed around to the near side boards. Not yet out of the zone, and now Okanagan clears it. Back into the zone with it. And Okanagan sends it around to the far wall. White with the steal down low. He's going to drive back behind the Okanagan net. Okanagan with a quick takeaway. They're going to clear the zone with it. Comes up and out. Bisley gets on his horse. Gets there first. He sends it over the near side. Rahojian wrangles it in. He turns. He's back into the Okanagan zone. Puck deflects up into the netting and out of play. 17:27 left in period number one. Face off in the Okanagan zone. On the ice, we've got Roberts, Foster, Rahojian, Butler, and Fury. You know, I have no idea. Quick shot, goaltender makes a save. He's got in his glove. It's a good question because I know ours isn't that substantial. So same group out as before. We'll get a face off in Okanagan zone on the far side. Rampage win the draw up to Pure at the blue line. Bouncing around out front. Okanagan's going to recollect, sends it to the far side. Butler in from the point. It deflects off the stick and up and out of play. 17-13 left in period number one. We'll get another face off in the Okanagan zone. Quick shot. Goaltender makes a save, and he's going to cover it up. Roberts with a very quick shot right off the draw. It goes down low. Roberts gets in there, picks it up, tries to feed it out front. The goaltender's going to knock it down and covers it up. We get a stop at 17-6 left in period number one. We will get another face-off in the Okanagan zone. Out on the ice, we'll get Drexel, Whitted, Banyan, Bisley, and Bennett. Up to Bennett at the point. He skates down low, centering pass, deflects back behind the Okanagan net. Skates to the near side corner, gets tied up down low. Puck comes up the wall. Bisley holds it at the point. Sends a shot, goes off of a body, comes down low. Whitted back up to Bisley. Bisley drives it down the near side wall. Leaves it for Whitted. Whitted's in the corner. Sends it up to Drexel at the point. Back to Whitted. Whitted turns, takes a shot. Goaltender makes a save. Rebounds out front. Okanagan sends it up into the netting and out of play. 16:37 left in period number one. We'll get another face-off in the Okanagan zone. Oh, and somebody broke a stick. I hate seeing it. Rampage win the draw up to the point. Bisley sends it back down the wall. Drexel goes after it down low in the corner. Up the wall on the near side. Puck stays in the zone. Back out front, Okanagan recollects. They send it across the far side. And then Bennett's going to send it out of play into the Okanagan bench. We'll get some fresh skaters on the ice. We've got Frieda, Stormer, Whittingham, White, and Butler. Rampage win the draw back to White. He's going to send it in from the red line. Okanagan goaltender holds up, sends it to the far corner. Dormer gets there, kicks it off the wall, looking for Friedis. Goes back into the corner. Dormer's in there, tie things up. Puck up the far side wall, out to neutral. White sends it back the other way and then back again. And comes to Whittingham. He's back into the zone with it. Near side wall, drives it down, comes out to center, gets tripped up on his way. Puck goes to the far corner. Rampage have a power play coming through. Okanagan tags up, and we get a penalty coming to Okanagan. So with 15:48 left in period number one, Rampage are going to go on their first power play of the night. Out on the ice to get us started, we've got Whittingham, Friedis, White, Banyan, and Dormer. And I have it on good authority that the boys were working at least a little bit on the power play this week. So hopefully we'll see a little improvement from what we've seen so far this season, where just haven't quite been able to connect. Rampage win the draw up to the point to Dormer. Dormer down to Whittingham, back to Dormer. Over to White. White to Friedis, back to White. White skates in, takes a shot. Goaltender makes a save. Rebounds out front. Now sent up but not out. White holds at the blue line. Dormer across, looking for Friedis. Friedis has to drive down in the corner and go get it. Up the point to White, over to Dormer. Dormer takes a shot, goes just wide of the net. Puck ends up in the far corner. Banyan drives it back up, and then Dormer sends it back into the corner. Whittingham goes down, picks it up, skates behind the Okanagan net to the near side. Up the wall looking for Friedis. Friedis over to White. White at the blue line. He's going to skate down, make a move. White takes a shot, and that one sneaks through. Yeah, I couldn't see it. So with 15:05 left in period number 1, Rampage scored a goal. Must have taken a tip from Mr. Jack Daniel. Shot from Trent White. And Rampage go up by score 1-0.
There you go.
It's all right.
You want to film or you good?
No, you're good. Am I in your way? I just can't see.
No.
Do you want to sit
Yeah.
lower?
No, it's honestly it's the netting that I don't know why. I just can't see through it. All right, puck back in the Okanagan zone. They send it up the wall on the far side, and that is a whistle for icing. So we get a stoppage, and faceoff's going to come back into the Okanagan zone. On the ice, we've got Judkins, Sarver, Flanagan, Fewer, and Bennett. Bouncing around off the draw. It ends up on the far wall. Judkins pins it up against the wall, sends it down low. Off the wall, and now gets sent up and out of the zone. Bennett's in a foot race. He gets back to it first, drives the puck over to the near side in his own zone. Up the wall, looking for Sarver. Comes up and out of the zone. And we get a whistle for icing. Faceoff will be back in the Rampage zone. 14:32 left in period number 1. And we still have Judkins, Sarver, and Flanagan. And we've got Butler and Bisley on the ice. Tied up on the draw. And Bisley turns to the near side, chips it up off the wall, out of the zone. Sarver's giving chase on the forecheck back into the Okanagan zone deep. Puck goes back behind the net. Flanagan gets in there, mixes things up. He turns around, brings the puck back to this side. Comes up the wall. Bisley sends it right back down the wall into the corner. Across to the far side, up the far wall. Foster's in there, pins the puck against the far wall. Puck off the wall. And Okanagan's going to wrangle it in. They're out of the zone with it. Send it over the near side into the Rampage zone. Bisley turns and fires. It's up and out. And that one just has enough for icing. So we get a whistle. Faceoff will be back in the Rampage zone. 13:46 left in period number 1. On the ice, we've got Foster, Rahosian, Roberts, Fuhrer, and I didn't see. Bennett. No, White. Puck down low into the corner. Tied up on the near side wall. It's anybody's puck right now, as far as I can tell. Fuhrer comes skating out of the pile to the far side. Okanagan recollects it, and then it gets poked to the far wall. Puck sent back into the near side corner. Foster gets a stick on it. He's going to turn and skate it out of the zone. He chips it into the Okanagan zone. Roberts is on the far side. He's down deep. Okanagan with it. They turn, send it up the wall on the near side. Battle at neutral ice, and it's going to bounce into the Rampage zone, then out, then back in. Rahosian trying to come back the other way. Puck still bouncing around at neutral ice. Okanagan's going to chip it into the Rampage zone. They go for a change. White turns to the near side wall. Sends a stretch pass looking for Drexel, who takes an elbow to the head. Play continues. Puck goes back into the Okanagan zone to the far wall. Puck bounces off the side of the net. Whitted tries to wrangle it in, tries to stuff it in on the backhand. The shot deflects up, ends up in the near side corner. Okanagan turns with it. They're out of the zone. And Bisley gets a stick on it. Bamian feeds it up the wall for Drexel. Drexel turns off the wall, sends it across the far side to Whitted. Puck comes out of the zone, and Whitted sends it up the wall. He's going to go for a change. Drexel sends it over to Bisley on the near side. Bisley chips it into the zone. And Dormer is in there to tie things up down low. Freitas comes in to help out. Puck back behind the Okanagan net. Okanagan sends it over to the near side wall. And then back again, back into the Rampage zone, and it has enough for icing. So we get a stoppage. Faceoff will be in the Okanagan zone. 11 minutes and 56 seconds left in period number 1. Out on the ice, we've got Whittingham, Freitas, Dormer, Butler, and White. Okanagan wins the draw back behind the net. They're going to send it to the far side. Up and out of the zone. It gets tipped back into Rampage, have to tag up. Okanagan's going to turn with it. Send it out. Steal by White. He knocks it down, sends it over for Whittingham. Whittingham wrangles it in. Shot taking goes up and over. It ends up on the near side boards. Did not make it out of the zone. Down low into the corner. Butler has it, skates the blue line, sends it across to White on the far side. Shot, goaltender makes a save and covers it up. So we get a stoppage face-off to Okanagan zone with 11:21 left in period number 1. On the ice, we've got Flanagan, Judkins, Sarver, Fuhrer, and Bennett. I don't know what it is about our netting at home, but I can't see through it. Rampage win the draw up to the point. Bennett sends it down low. Flanagan tries to tie things up behind the net. Puck goes to the far wall. Okanagan turns and clears it out to neutral. Sarver over to Fuhrer. Fuhrer cross ice for Judkins. Judkins is into the zone. He's got a little room. Pass gets deflected up, ends up at the near side corner. Comes up but not out. Fuhrer knocks it down. Okanagan gets a stick on it, and now they're going to clear it to neutral ice. Puck comes back to Fuhrer. Fuhrer over to Bennett. Bennett's going to dump it in. Rampage going for a change of all 5. Okanagan sends it up on the near side. Out of the zone, through neutral, into the Rampage zone with it. Rahosian gets a stick on it, and it comes up and out to neutral. Gets poked into the Okanagan zone. Roberts gets there, sends a shot that I think the goalie got a piece of. It ends up down low in the corner on the far side. Okanagan recollects, skates off the wall. They're into the neutral zone. They dump it into the Rampage zone. Foster delivers a big hit, and we are going to be on the penalty kill. Well, he hasn't given a signal yet. It was a big hit. I don't know if he got him high. I'm not sure. 10-12 left in period number 1. Rampage are going to be on the penalty kill. Yeah, he called roughing. So Rampage will be on the PK. Out there to get us started, we got Judkins, Sarver, Bisley, and Sarver with the steal. Sarver's into the zone. He's got a little bit of room. Oh, and a shot, and the goaltender has it in his glove. He's going to hang on. Nice hard-working play by Johnny Two Guns on that one to create the turnover and drive it quickly into the Okanagan zone. All right, so who do we got on here? We got Judkins, Sarver, Bisley, and Butler. That's who we got. Okanagan wins the draw back low into the corner. They're behind their own net. Sarver applying pressure on the forecheck. Being a pest in the best of ways. Okanagan sends it across to the far side. They take the red line. They're going to dump it in the Rampage zone. Shields holds it up. Bisley gets there, sends it to the near side wall. Judkins clears the zone with it. Okanagan holds it up. 1 minute, 25 seconds left on the PK. Pass sent across to the near side. Gets held up momentarily. Freitas sends it back to White. White sends it up and out for Dormer. Dormer's got a little room, makes a quick move, feeds it over, looking for Freitas. He was there. They just didn't quite connect on the pass. It was a good look. Puck coming to the near side. Back into the Rampage zone now. To the far wall. Bisley sends it up in the distance. Dormer's going to give chase. The Okanagan goaltender plays it to the far wall. Dormer tries to tie things up, and now he's going to go back to the bench for a change. Okanagan skates through. They take the red line into the Rampage zone. Pass down low, gets clear to the near side corner. Whittingham up the wall for Flanagan. Flanagan clears the zone, and Okanagan's going to send it across to the far side. 27 seconds left on the PK. Puck gets dumped back into the Rampage zone, the near side. White ties things up down low in the corner. Keeps things tied up for a little while. Comes up to the point on the near side. Sit back down low. Centering pass comes up. Player makes a move and ends up down low in the corner on the near side. Puck comes up. Flanagan's going to turn and fire at the distance. 2-1, and time expires on the penalty kill. Rampage are back at full strength. Okanagan sends it out to the neutral zone. Fuhrer skates with speed down the near side wall. Goes low, sends it off the goaltender, bouncing around out front. Didn't even try to get there, couldn't get a stick on it. Puck comes up but not out. Whitted turns it back around. Skates to the near side wall up to Drexel. Drexel takes a shot. Goes just wide. Butler's going to drive it down in the far corner. Butler back behind the Okanagan net. Feeds it up to the near side and bounces off the wall and comes out of the zone. Drexel wrangles it back in. He's going to chip it in. Rampage have to tag up. They do so and give chase. Whitted down low in the corner to tie things up. Puck comes up the far wall and now it gets cleared up and out. And it's going to be icing. They wave it off. Just didn't quite have enough. So pass comes through, goes off Drexel's stick into the Okanagan zone. Back up to the point on the near side. Okanagan's going to try to turn with it. They send it across to the far side. They take the red line. They dump it into the Rampage zone. Shields holds it up behind the net, plays it up the far wall. Up to Rahojan, sends it hard across to the near side. Bisley picks it up. Bisley's through neutral. He's into the Okanagan zone. Pass across for Rahojan. Got the shot off. I think it went just wide of the net. Back to Rahojan in the center. Backhands the shot. Goaltender makes a save. Puck comes up to the near side wall. And now Okanagan has it. They send it across to the far side through neutral into the Rampage zone. White blows a tire, I think. Foster picks up the puck. It gets poked up and now out. Back to Foster. Foster makes a quick move, and now Okanagan's going to send it back into the Rampage zone. Bisley comes back, sends it across to Bennett on the far side. Bennett up the wall to Roberts. Roberts turns, sends it looking for Rahojan. Roberts is into the zone now. The other players are going for a change. Okanagan come back the other way into the Rampage zone. Pass across. Judkins gets a stick on it and now gets sent down low into the corner on the near side. Back behind the net. Bennett's going to pick it up, sends it to the far side, up and out, and that is going to be icy. So we get a whistle. Face-off will be back in the Rampage zone with 6:01 left in period number 1. Out on the ice, we've got Flanagan, Judkins, Butler, Sarver, and Bisley. Tied up on the draw. Butler's going to skate it into the far corner. Comes up to Flanagan. Flanagan turns with it. Feeds it over for Sarver. Sarver takes a shot. Goaltender makes a save. He's going to hang on to it. Face-off in the Okanagan zone. 5 minutes and 15 seconds left in period number 1. We did have a full 20 minutes up on the clock, which means I think we're going to get a nice cut in between each period, which is really the way I prefer to play it. And only time will tell as we get to the end of period number 1. Pile up on the draw. Flanagan pulls it out. Puck comes up to Bisley at the point. Shot taken. Goaltender makes a save. Another face-off in the Okanagan zone. Okanagan wins the draw. Skate it behind their net to the far side. Puck comes up and out of the zone. Butler wrangles it in over to Bisley. Bisley takes the red line. He's going to chip it in. Goaltender puts it into the corner. And Okanagan sends it over to the far side corner. Send a pass goes off a boot into the Rampage zone. Butler gets in there to try to tie things up. Okanagan skates it to the near side, sends it up to the point on the near side. Back down the wall, back behind the net, and to the far side corner. Puck gets poked up to the point and bounces up and out. And now puck goes up and out of play into the scorekeeper's area. So we get a stoppage. We'll have a face-off at the center dot. On the ice, we've got Freitas, Gormer, Whittingham, White, and Bennett. Tied up on the draw, gets poked into the Okanagan zone. Ends up deep into the corner. Pass out front. Whittingham sends it down for Freitas in the corner. Sends it up, doesn't connect. It's going to come back into the Rampage zone. White has to come back and get it. Changes direction, sends it to the far side to Freitas. Freitas turns it over to Whittingham, goes off a stick, and Okanagan has it back. They skate to the near side. Up and through into the Rampage zone. Bennett's going to have to come back to be the first one to get there. He skates to the far side. Sends it up the wall to the far side. Okanagan with the steal. They skate it off the wall. Pass across, and White gets a stick on it. Comes to the near side boards. Whittingham clears the zone with it. Freitas has a steal. He's got a little room. Freitas makes a move, and I believe the goaltender made the first save, and then Gavin Dormer comes in on the rebound. Is that right? I couldn't see it very well. Okay, so, Freitas makes a move, gets a little bit of a breakaway. Goalie makes the first save. Dormer is there to pick up the rebound, although Freitas is the one that went through the line first. Maybe it did on the first one. Okay. I'm not sure who gets credit for that one, but it is a Rampage goal. So 4:13 left in period number 1. Rampage up 2-0. Rampage win the draw back to Fuhrer. He skates the near side wall, and Rampage are offside on the way into the zone. 4:08 left in period number 1. We're going to face off outside the Okanagan zone. On the ice, we've got Drexel, Whitted, Banyan, Fuhrer, and Butler. Rampage win the draw. Fuhrer sends it in. Ends up in the near side corner. Banyan goes in to try to tie things up. Drexel's in there as well. Okanagan sends it across to the far wall. They wrangle it in, skate to the near side. Puck comes up and out. Butler turns around with it. He sends it back into the zone. Down low in the far side corner. Okanagan holds up behind their net. They send up the wall on the far side. Takes a weird bounce. He comes up and out and into the Rampage zone. Shot goes up and over and ends up on the far wall. Quick turnaround. Shot taken. We've got Rahojan, Roberts, Foster, Bisley, and Bennett. Okanagan wins the draw. Shot goes up and over. Bennett to Roberts on the far side. Roberts up, goes off of Rahojan's stick. Okanagan sends it around to the far side. Pass across into the Rampage zone. Bisley gets there, sends it up the wall on the near side. And now Foster picks it up. He skates it up and out of the zone. Okanagan with a poke check. They're going to send it back in. Bisley has to chase it down low into the corner. Sends it over for Bennett on the far side. Bennett sends a pass up, comes up to neutral and into the Okanagan zone. Puck gets deflected up and over the glass and out of play. So with 2:54 left in period number 1, we'll get a face-off in the Okanagan zone. Out on the ice, we've got Judkins, Sarver, Flanagan, White, and Butler. Up to White at the point. Shot goes through. Goaltender makes a save. He's going to hang on, and we'll get one more, just like before. Tied up on the draw. Big pile comes over to an Okanagan player, sends it to the far wall and clears it. Butler sends it back across for White. White up off of Sarver's stick. It's into the zone. Okanagan sends it to the far wall. Comes up to the blue line, but not out. Held at the blue line. That was a pretty big hit, and we're going to get a penalty coming to Okanagan. So Rampage will be back on the power play again with 2 minutes and 26 seconds left in period number 1. Out on the ice to get it started on the power play, we've got Whittingham, Freitas, Banyan, Dormer, and Waite. Roughing is the call. 2 minutes, 26 seconds left in period number 1.
Puck ends up down low. Okanagan gets there. Whittingham tries to tie things up down low. Okanagan changes directions to the near side. They send it up and out, and they're going to clear it the distance. White has to come back to pick it up. He picks it up behind his net. He's going to skate to the far side. White over to Freitas. Freitas on the far wall. He's into the Okanagan zone. Freitas holds up at the circle. Sends it up to White at the blue line. White sends it in, goes off the goaltender, comes out to the near side wall. Dormer drives it in down low. Dormer back behind the net. Takes it to the far side corner. Over to White at the blue line. White holds up on the near side, sends it back to Dormer. Dormer through, looking for Whittingham, and ends up on Freitas' stick. Freitas back over for White. White down low for Whittingham. Shot taking, goaltender makes a save. Puck goes wide, ends up in the far corner. Dormer picks it up on the far side, skates to the top of the circle, takes a shot. Goaltender makes a save. Puck bouncing around out front, and it comes up but not out of the zone. White making a nice soccer move with the blue line to keep it in. Puck down low in the corner on the near side. And we get a stoppage, and it appears that we've got a Rampage player going to the box. I couldn't see what was going on because it was too close to this corner where I can't see a thing. Oh, it looks like they're going to send one from each. Yep. So I'm going to take over. Still have 51 seconds of power play time left. We've got Server, Whitted, Drexel, Judkins, and Butler. Puck comes up the near side wall and out of the zone. Drexel's going to have to come back and wrangle it in. Drexel turns to the far side. He's going to skate to the far wall. Makes a move. He's through neutral. Puck into the zone. Whitted over to Sarver. Sarver takes a shot. Johnny Two Guns gets the power play goal with 1 minute exactly left. That's right. Yeah, he's the one that drew the penalty that gave them that power play. So with exactly 1 minute left in period number one, Rampage go by score 3-0 on the power play goal to old Johnny Two Guns Sarver. I don't think he has to take over. We've got Roberts, Rahojan, Foster, Fuhrer, and Butler. Rampage going to draw to Butler on the far side. He gets the red line, sends it in. Goes just wide of the net. Rahojan gets in there, tries to feed it out front, just fanned on it. And now back towards the front of the net. Okanagan skating back out, coming the other direction. Puck down low into the corner. Up to Rahojan on the near side wall. He's to Roberts. Roberts makes a move, slips the jab. Now he's going to dump it into the Okanagan zone. Okanagan goaltender holds it up. Rahojan goes in there, almost hunted it down. Okanagan's going to skate to the far side into the Rampage zone. Puck bouncing around and gets knocked down to the near wall. Goes back into the low corner. Okanagan's going to turn with it. Skates back to the far side. 9 seconds left. Foster up the wall on the far side. Back down into the corner. Bounces out front. Shot. Doesn't get much on it. And time expires on period number one. So your score after one is 3-0 in favor of your Colorado Rampage. The shots on goal that we are showing right now from the scorekeeper are 21-1 in favor of the Rampage boys. So far it's been a fairly dominant performance, and hopefully we've got a little more of the same. It does appear that we are going to get a nice cut between periods. So I'm going to go on mute for the next 10 minutes or so, and I'll check back in with you guys when I come back. All right, welcome back as we get ready to start period number 2. You know how much I like being able to say that we're getting ready to start period number 2 instead of the second half of the second period. I do like this format a whole lot better. Much more better.
I don't know why all the rest of them are big 7 minutes.
I don't know either. I do like this format better, but it does also mean that we're going to be here a little bit later tonight. So far, the Rampage boys off to a good start, up by a score of 3-0. Hopefully, they just keep carrying that on through the next 2 periods. All right, everybody's back at the bench. Coach is going to give them a quick talk, and then we'll get our lines back out there to get us started for this next period. All right, out on the ice to get us started for period number 2. We've got Whitted, Drexel, Bennett, Bisley, and Foster. As Jack Banyan is currently still in the box, serving a concurrent penalty. Tied up on the draw, it's going to come back into the Okanagan zone. They turn in the near side wall, send it up to neutral ice. It's back into the Rampage zone. Bisley goes back for it in the near side corner. He's going to send it over to the far side. Drexel's there, turns with it, sends a pass up, looking for Foster. Comes through, it's into the Okanagan zone, back out, and a quick turnaround by Bennett, and then back again. Drexel picks it up in his zone, sends it over to Bisley on the far side. Bisley up the wall to Foster, off his stick and into the Okanagan zone. Okanagan out to neutral, goes off of the stick and goes the distance, and we get a whistle for icing. So with 19:26 left in period number 2, we're going to face off in the Okanagan zone. Fresh skaters out on the ice. We've got Dormer, Whittingham, Freitas, White, and Butler. Tied up on the draw, up to the point. Butler knocks it down, sends it down the wall on the near side. Dormer skates it out front, and a shot. Goaltender makes a save. Freitas takes a shot. Goaltender makes a save. Another shot. Whittingham sends it up and over, out to neutral ice where Butler wrangles it in. Cross ice looking for White. White back up the far wall. It's back into the Okanagan zone. They wave off icing. Play will continue. To the near side corner. Okanagan changes directions. Freitas gets in there to tie things up down low. Dormer comes in to help out. Puck goes across to the far wall. White pinches in. He's going to keep it down in the corner. Freitas comes back for it, sends it up to Butler. Butler takes a shot. Goaltender has it in his glove. He's going to hang on. 18:43 left in period number 2. Face off in the Okanagan zone. On the ice, Judkins, Sarver, Flanagan, Fuhrer, Bennett. Driven down low into the corner by Sarver. Flanagan comes the other way, sends it up to Bennett at the point. Puck deflects off a stick, and now Okanagan comes back the other way, back into the Rampage zone. Bennett has to come back and pick it up. Skates to the near side, up the wall, off of Flanagan's stick, and into the Okanagan zone. Puck to the far wall. Tied up on the far wall. Poke down low. Pushed down the wall, and now it's in the near side corner. Okanagan sends it up and out of the zone. Into the Rampage zone on the near side. Centering pass, and Shields with the save. Puck ends up back by the Rampage zone. Or net, excuse me. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Puck tied up in the corner on the near side. up to the point. Shot taken, Shields with the save. He's going to hang on. 17:46 left in period number 2. Out on the ice, we've got Bisley, Butler, Rahosian, Roberts, and Foster. Right up on the draw. Comes up but not out. Turn around at the blue line. Back down low to the near side wall. Sent up to the point but not out. Okanagan makes a move. Skates the blue line. Shot taken. Shields with the save. Puck ends up in the far corner. Up and out to neutral ice. Okanagan turns around, loses the handle back into their own zone. Held up on the far wall. Roberts pins things in. Puck goes way up in the air. Doesn't go out of play. It ends up behind the Okanagan net. Okanagan sends it up and out. They're in the neutral ice. Across the red line into the Rampage zone. Bisley sends the puck back this way, and we have a tripping penalty coming to Mr. Butler, I believe. 17:11 left in period number 2. Rampage are going to be on the penalty kill. Out on the ice to get us started on the PK, we've got Whitted, White, Banyan, and Bisley. Puck ends up low in the corner. Bisley gets tied up down low. Okanagan turns with it, sends it up to the point on the near side. Cross ice to the far point. Back to the blue line center. Shot taken. Shields with the save. It goes to the far wall. Back up to the blue line center. Over to the near side. Shot. Shields with the save. He's going to hang on. We'll get a face-off in the Rampage zone. 1 minute, 39 seconds left on the PK. A couple of fresh forwards out on the ice. We've got Dormer and Friedis coming out. Okanagan wins the drop to the point. Back to the point on the near side. They skate down the wall. Puck low in the corner. Turn around up to the point on the near side. Cross ice to the far side circle. Shot goes through and ends up on the near wall. Puck gets sent the distance and cleared out. Okanagan goaltender is going to hang on to it. Sends it to the far wall. Dormer's in, applying pressure on the forecheck. Okanagan makes a move. They're through neutral, or into neutral, into the Rampage zone on the near side. Down low into the corner. Goes across to the far side. Gets all tied up. Bennett's in there to just tie things up in the corner, and then the puck gets cleared up and out, and the distance again. 55 seconds left on the PK. Get a couple of penalty killers changed out. Okanagan comes skating up and out of their zone. Quick poke check, and Okanagan gets held up at neutral ice and then into the zone. Puck comes back out again. And got a big open ice hit by Monty Foster. Puck ends up on the near side wall. Comes up and out. Whittingham's going to give chase. Okanagan goaltender gets there first, sends it over to the far side. Whittingham tries to tie things up down low in the corner and does so for a little bit. Okanagan sends it over to the near side. They're going to skate back behind their net. 17 seconds left on the PK for the Rampage. Okanagan takes the red line. They're going to dump it in. Bounces around to the near side corner. Bisley gets in there to try to mix things up. Puck comes up, but not out. Stays in the zone. Okanagan skates down the circle. Shot taken. Shields with a nice save. Bisley sends it hard up the wall, but doesn't come up and out of the zone. Shot taken from blue line. Shields with another save. Rampage are back in full strength. Bisley gets in there, sends it up. It comes out. I thought that came across the line, but apparently not. Play will continue. Puck down low in the near side corner. Bouncing around out front. Ends up back behind the Rampage net and gets sent to the near side. Flanagan turns with it, gives it to Sarver. Sarver makes a move. He's off the wall. Shovels it over to Bisley. Bisley takes a shot. Goaltender makes a save. Puck down low. Sarver gets in there to tie things up. And then Judkins comes in. He's going to turn around, sends it over to Butler. Butler from the blue line. And that one, I think Tommy Flanagan got the tip on that one. They're going to talk about it. They're going to talk about whether or not the stick was too high that the deflection went in off of. That's my guess. It was up there. It was a really, really nice tip. 14:31 left in period number 2. The refs are talking whether it was too high of a stick that he tipped it in with. So we'll see. See if we get it. The refs are having a conference. I know from where I'm sitting it looked close, and none of us have the benefit of the instant replay. Those of you at home do, though. You could probably back up the video a little bit if you want to. Oh, and they're going to wave it off there. Apparently it was tipped in with a high stick. That's my...
Oh, that goes back in their zone.
It comes out of the zone if it was played with a high stick. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good question. I want all of our parents at home. It looked close to me in real time, but quite a few. Yeah. That was the game that Jack Whittingham actually had 4 goals, but one of them was one that was called off. Out on the ice, we've got Roberts, Foster, Rahosian, Butler, and White. Rampage win the draw. They're going to send it in the zone. Goes off the linesman. Comes back up out of the zone. White turns around with it. Feeds it in the zone. Foster picks it up. Shot taken. Goaltender makes a save. Puck goes to the far wall. Rahosian with the shot. Deflects to the near side wall. Okanagan sends it up in the air and out of the zone. Back into the Rampage zone. Butler turns. Sends it to the near side corner. Things get tied up down low. Okanagan skates it to the far side, up to the blue line. Quick mishandle, and Foster's going to pick it up. He's out of the zone, into the Okanagan zone. Shot taken. Goalie makes the first save, and Trent White picks up the rebound on the back door. So with 13:49 left in period number 2, Rampage are going to go up by a score of 4-0. And the Trent White goal. That would be real fair and keep it kind of neutral. It looks like it could have been. I just don't know how they determined that without having instant replay like some said. Like shoulder, so a lot of times they'll measure it by the bar if it's above the bar. So I don't think I. So we've got Banyan, Whitted, Drexel, Bennett, and Fuhrer. Puck back behind the Rampage net. Fuhrer takes it to the far side, sends it up, doesn't come out, and now Whitted knocks it out of the zone, has to wrangle it back into Banyan. Banyan tries to feed it back to center, deflects to that far wall. He's tied up down low in the corner on the far side. Ref is in the way. Whitted's going to pick it up. He turns with it, sends it up the point on the far side. Hero takes a shot from up high, deflects, ends up on the near wall. Off the wall, Drexel's going to pick it up. He turns and drives it down low. Drexel makes a move out front, loses the handle, comes up to Fuhrer, sends it towards the goaltender. Puck back low behind the Okanagan net. They recollect and send it up out to neutral. It doesn't connect. It's going to go the distance, and we get a whistle for icing. 13:05 left in period number 2. Face off in the Okanagan zone. On the ice, Freitas, Dormer, Whittingham, Butler, and Bisley. Rampage win the draw up to the point. Sent down the wall, ends up back behind the net, and rims around to the near side. Butler keeps it in the zone, Freitas turns around, sends it in the corner of the far side. Dormer's waiting. Gets a little tied up down low in the corner. Freitas comes in, picks up the puck. Sends it back down into the corner. Dormer's waiting. Gets sandwiched between a couple of players. The puck ends up in the near corner. Puck comes up to the point but not out. Butler holds it at the blue line. Off the near side wall, up and out, and through. Bisley's going to come back for it, and it just had enough. So get a whistle for icing. Faceoff's going to be back in the Okanagan zone. On the ice, we've got Flanagan, Judkins, Server, White, and Fuhrer. Puck gets cleared up and out. Goes off the skate, bounces back into the Rampage zone. Shields sends it to the near side corner. White sends it up the wall to the near side. Back down again. Okanagan centers the pass up and out front. Bounces up to the point. Shot goes up and over and ends up at the far side wall. Down low into the corner. Cross ice to center. Okanagan takes a shot. It goes up and over and ends up at the near wall. Puck bounces way up in the air. Stays in play. Now comes up to the point on the near side. Still in the zone. And Shields is going to cover it up and takes a poke from somebody afterwards. It's going to elicit some extracurricular activity. Mr. Tommy Flanagan, as we know full well, is not afraid to say, I don't like that very much. Don't touch my goaltender. We are going to get a penalty against Okanagan for the poke to Ryder Shields after he covered up the puck. 11:47. Left in period number 2. Rampage are going to go on the power play. Out on the ice to get us started on the power play, we've got Whittingham, Freitas, Banyan, Dormer, and White. Yeah. Puck goes across to the far side. White's going to wrangle it in and neutral ice. He's got a player on him. Dormer picks it up back behind his net. He's going to reset and regroup. Dormer leaves it for White. White turns. He's going to skate with it. Sends it up for Banyan. Banyan into the zone, the far side. Puck bounces down low into the corner on the far side. Freitas brings it over to our side of the ice. Up to Dormer at the point. Shot taken goes wide of the net. Butler drives it down low. Feeds it up to Freitas on the near side. Freitas back to Butler. Butler across to Dormer. Dormer over to Butler. Butler down the wall on the near side. Tied up on the near side, and Okanagan's going to clear it. Shields holds it up. He's going to leave it for Dormer to pick up. 1:04 left on the power play to the Rampage boys. Dormer skates out from behind the net. Makes a quick move. Loses the puck. And in a very unfortunate turnover right in front of the Rampage net with 10:43 left in period number 2, Okanagan spins around and does a no-look shot that goes top corner and in. So with a shorthanded goal, Okanagan brings the score to 4-1 with 10:43 left in period number 2. Rampage still have 57 seconds on the power play. Out on the ice, we've got Whitted, Judkins, Sarber, Drexel, and Butler. Drexel skates back behind the net, takes it to the far side. He's going to skate the far side, sends it in. He's going to give chase. Drexel picks it back up again. Skates back behind the Okanagan net to the near side, up to Butler at the blue line. Butler back to Drexel on the near side wall. Drexel tries to feed it through, bounces off some bodies, comes up, and Sarver's going to pick it up. He turns with it, across to Drexel. Drexel over to Butler. Shot taken, bodies in the way, save made, and it's going to come up to the blue line. Butler knocks it down, sends it over to Drexel. Drexel back across to Judkins on the far side. Judkins up to Butler. Shot taken. Goaltender makes a save. It bounces to the far wall. Puck comes up and out. Butler's going to pick it up at neutral ice. Drexel has it. He's going to dump it into the zone. 4 seconds left in the penalty kill for the Rampage boys. And the goaltender is going to send it the distance, and Okanagan is back at full strength because he sent it before the penalty finished. Yeah. Puck down low, back behind the Okanagan net, up the near side wall, up and out to neutral ice. Rohojan's going to get there. He sends it across to Bennett. Bennett clears the zone. Puck gets stuck on the far wall. Now Roberts is going to dump it in. Rohojan gives chase down low. Okanagan goaltender sends it to the near side. Okanagan turns, comes up and out of the zone. Roberts gets there and sends it back into the Okanagan zone. Rohojan back in on the forecheck. Puck low in the corner. Roberts gets in there, mixes things up. Puck comes to the near side wall. Bennett pinching in. Puck back into the corner. It's going to go around to the far side. Okanagan gets there first. Up and out of the zone. And Foster's going to kick it back into the zone and go for a change. Okanagan turns around, back behind the net, sends it to the near side. And then Bennett turns it back around again. Okanagan back into the Rampage zone, down low. The puck goes across, up and over and into the netting and out of play. 8 minutes and 32 seconds left in period number 2. On the ice, we've got Banyan, Flanagan, Judkins, White, and Fuhrer. Right up on the draw. Looks like White's going to get there first. Held in the zone. Shot taken. Shields with the save. Puck bounces to the far side. Up the wall on the far side. Off the wall. Turned and fired. Shields knocks it wide of the net. White sends it up to Flanagan. Flanagan turns. Sends it across to the far side to Judkins. He's into the zone. Flanagan recollects the puck. Centers the pass over to Judkins. Backhanded it. Goaltender got a piece, and then puck ends up on the far wall. Up and out of the zone. Back into the Rampage zone. White recollects. Sends it up the wall on the near side. Banyan chips it into the zone. Flanagan's going to be... I guess I thought Banyan actually touched it, but apparently not. They just... I don't think that one was icing, but nonetheless, we'll have a face-off in the Rampage zone. 7 minutes and 52 seconds left in the period. We've got Whittingham, Freitas, Dormer, Bennett, and Butler on the ice. Puck goes into the corner. Tied up down low. Dormer gets in there, sends it up to Freitas. Puck now up and out into the Okanagan zone. Dormer giving chase. Puck goes to the far wall. Whittingham gets there, slows it down, sends it back down low. Dormer reverses direction. Freitas wrangles it in, sends it up to Bennett at the point. Bennett takes a shot. Goaltender makes a save. Up to the point. Butler gets there, sends it back down the wall, ends up down in the corner, bouncing around. Freitas is going to pick it up. He turns with it, sends it up to Bennett on the near side. Bennett drives it down the near side wall and sends it, rims around to the far side where Freitas is waiting, bounces on him, and now Butler holds it in the blue line up to Freitas. Just couldn't quite get it on a stick, and now Okanagan's going to clear it, and that is icing. So 6 minutes and 59 seconds left in period number 2. Face-off will be back in the Okanagan zone. On the ice, we've got Drexel, Whitted, Banyan, Bisley, and Fuhrer. Rampage win the draw. Banyan up to Fuhrer. Shot. Goaltender makes a save. Bouncing around. Drexel tries to wrangle it back in. Sends it down low. Whitted in the corner. Sends it up the wall on the far side. Comes up and out to neutral. Okanagan into the near side. Shot taken. Shields turns it into the side into the far corner. Puck bounces up the wall. Comes up to the point. Okanagan sends it up and out of play, it looks like. 6:32 left in period number 2. Face off in the Rampage zone. Same throughout as before. Right up on the draw. Drexel picks it up out of the pile. Banyan's got it. He's through neutral. He's to the near side, drops it for Bisley. Bisley takes a shot. Goaltender makes a save. Puck bounces to the near side. Okanagan sends it off the wall, and now they drive it out to neutral, and White's going to send it to the far side into the zone. Rampage have to tag up. Puck comes up and out of the zone. Back to White in his own zone, and flips up into the netting and out of play. So we get a stoppage for the face-off in the Rampage zone. 6 minutes and 3 seconds left in period number 2. Out on the ice, we've got Roberts, Verhoeven, Butler, Foster, and White. Tied up on the draw. Body's on top of the puck, I think. This is a pile. Looks like Roberts is going to turn with it. Sends it up and out of the zone. Okanagan wrangles it in, skates it to the far wall. They turn around with it, back into the Rampage zone on the far side. Down into the corner. Up the wall. Verhoeven's going to wrangle it in. He's up and out of the zone with it. And Okanagan turns around the other way to the far wall. Quick takeaway by Foster. He's coming back the other way. He's into the Okanagan zone on the far side. Shot taking, goes up and over, ends up on the near wall. White has it at neutral ice. Flips it across towards Verhoeven. Rampage have to tag up. And now the puck comes up and out and into the Rampage zone. A shot. Shields with the save that deflects up into the netting and out of play. Face off in the Rampage zone. 5:17 left in period number 2. Out on the ice, we've got Bennett, Bisley, Sarver, Judkins, and Flanagan. I don't know. I do not know. Puck tied up down low in the corner. Fewer's going to drive it to the near side. No, that was on line. Puck down low, all tied up. Judkins sends it up the wall on the near side. Okanagan with it at the point, sends it across the far side. Puck bouncing around out front. Makes a move back behind the Rampage net. Okanagan has it on the near side. They're going to skate it up. Quick steal by Flanagan. Comes off the wall. He wrangles it back in again. Flanagan's into the zone on the far side. Drops it for Sarver. Sarver drives to center. Okanagan coming back the other direction. Into the Rampage zone on the far side. Puck ends up down low into the corner. Tied up down low. Ends up to the far wall. Okanagan sends it up to the point on the far side. Turned and fired wide of the net. Ends up at the near wall. Chopped at, and it bounces up in the air and lands back in the corner. Up to Sarver. Sarver turns with it. Off the wall. Quick shot goes up and over. Lands on the back of the net. And now we've got a penalty coming. Must be to the Rampage. For what, I'm not sure. But with 4:05 left in period number 2. So, got a penalty coming to Brady Bennett for roughing. 4:05 left in period number 2. Rampage are going to be shorthanded for the next 2 minutes. I don't think it's to get us started in the PK. We've got Bisley, White, Verhoeven, and Freitas. No, I'm sorry, it's Dormer and Freitas. He's dyslexic. 91 to 19. Puck comes up to the point. Okanagan with it down on the near side wall. Back to the far corner. Up to the point on the far side. Across the blue line. Down low on the near side. Back up to the point, still in the zone. Okanagan sends it up to the point on the near side. Across to the far side point. Shot taken, goes off of Shields and up into the netting and out of play. 3:32 left in the period, 1:28 on the penalty kill. We got some fresh penalty killers on the ice. We've got Whitted, Banyan, Foster, and White to continue on the PK. Tied up on the draw, bouncing around, comes up to the blue line, but not out. Puck goes down low in the corner. Okanagan recollects down low, up to the point on the near side. Back down low, pass across, and back again, and ends up in the near side corner. Up the wall to the near point. And then Foster with the steal. He's going to wrangle it in. Foster's into the Okanagan zone. Okanagan with the poke check. Okanagan sends a stretch pass cross ice to the far side. They're through neutral into the Rampage zone. Puck back behind the Rampage net to the corner on the near side. Up the wall to the point. Cross ice to the far circle. Shot goes back behind the net. Comes up the near side and up and out of the neutral zone. Okanagan turns it around. Whitted with the poke check, and he's going to send it and go for a change. Whittingham's in. He's going to be the first one to get there in the Okanagan zone. Just overskates the puck. Comes off the wall. Whittingham picks it back up again. Whittingham back in on the far side. Goaltender makes a save. Goes into the far corner. Whittingham ties things up down low. Okanagan sends it over to the near side. Drexel's going to try to get in there and keep things tied up. Puck in the near side corner where I can't see a thing. Still tied up. 5 seconds left on the penalty kill. And Okanagan sends the puck around to the far side. And 1:52 left in period number 2. Rampage are back at full strength. Out on the ice, we got Flanagan, Judkins, Sarver, Fuhrer, and Bennett. Puck comes across back into the Rampage zone. Bisley has to come back for it. I'm sorry, it's Bisley, not Bennett. Over to Fuhrer, up the wall, up and out of the zone. Judkins gets there, sends it in the Okanagan zone. Okanagan back and off the stick, up into the netting, and out of play. 1:39 left in period number 2. Same throughout as before.
Let's see in 2 weeks. Thanksgiving. How does it care? How was dinner? It was great. Good time. Good to stay there. No worries.
Bouncing around. It gets poked up into the Okanagan zone and then deflected up into the bench and out of play.
I saw the cobbler.
Salud.
Is it good? Oh, you brought it with you?
1:32 left in period number 2. Face off in the Okanagan zone.
Nothing's going to be gone tonight.
Rampage win the drop to the point. Fuhrer sends it towards the goaltender. He's going to turn it aside. On the near wall, up and out to neutral. Fuhrer sends it to the far side. Sarver's going to backhand it into the zone. Puck down low. And Flanagan turns it around, keeps it back behind the Okanagan net. Puck to the far side wall. Quick move made. Okanagan skates up the wall, up and out to neutral ice, and that one probably is going to be a tripping penalty. Puck back into the Rampage zone. Rampage tag up, and we are going to go back on the PK with 1:03 left in period number 2. That one was just a little bit too out in the middle of the ice and obvious to not call it. So, Rampage back on the PK. Out on the ice, we've got Foster, Whitted, Butler, and White.
I'll be right back.
We got 1 minute left.
Bouncing around. It's going to come up to the point on the near side. Back down low. Back into the near side corner. Tied up down low in the corner. Still tied up down low in the corner. White's got it tied up with about 3 Okanagan players. Foster comes in to help out as well. Puck comes up the wall on the near side. Whitted chips it. He's got a little bit of space. Whitted's into the zone, shorthanded. Just loses the handle. Puck back into the far corner. Whitted still on the forecheck. Still keeps things tied up down low, far corner. Whitted gets there again, sends a puck up the wall looking for Dormer. Can't quite get it to him. Okanagan turns it back behind, and Whitted still on the hunt. Pokecheck's going to keep it down low into the corner. Pass across, doesn't quite connect. Dormer's there, picks it up. He skates it up and out of the zone. Sends the pass across, off the wall. White's going to chip it up in the air. And time will expire on period number 2. So your score after 2 is 4-1 in favor of your Colorado Rampage. The one Okanagan goal coming on a very unfortunate turnover right in front of our net. But nonetheless, Rampage boys still up. And when we come back to start period number 3, we'll still have 57 seconds left on the penalty kill. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to go on mute again, and we'll see you back in a little bit. All right, folks, welcome back as we get ready to start period number 3. As I said before, to start this period, Rampage are going to be on the penalty kill for another 57 seconds. And out on the ice to get us started on the PK, we've got Foster, Whitted, White, and Butler. And, of course, Mr. Shields in net. Tied up on the draw. Okanagan gets there, sends it back into their own zone. Quick loss of the puck. Foster recollects and picks it up in front, and he ends up in the back of the net. Unfortunately, you can't add a point to the board for a player in the back of the net. We've got some sticky, swampy ice out there after the ice cut. 19:49 left in period number 3, 47 seconds left on the penalty kill. Same crew out as before. I'm not sure what we've got the refs going back to. Oh, they're going to take the face off outside of the zone, I think. Or no, maybe we have a timeout. Do we have a timeout? We must have a timeout. I'm not sure why, but 1949.
Sorry. Period?
Oh, I didn't change period. I didn't. Okay, we are in period number 3. We'll get our act together at some point. Not tonight. Definitely not next weekend. I'm not real sure. So we're still in the penalty kill. Puck went back there. The ice was real sticky. The player accidentally mishandled the puck. Armani picked it up, took a shot, and then somehow propelled himself into the back of the net. And so we got to stop. The net came off. We got a stoppage. And then I think somebody called a timeout. I think. Or maybe, you know what? I bet they're waiting because the ice is still wet. I bet they're taking a... Yeah, I bet they're taking a TV timeout to let it refreeze just a little bit. That's just a guess, but I don't know why else there would be a timeout right now. Yeah. All right. So you guys probably heard me at home, but I do believe that's what we've got going on is the ice is still really wet. It didn't refreeze very well. And so we're taking a little TV timeout and going to try to let the ice refreeze a touch. When we get started again, the faceoff's going to be outside the Okanagan zone. Rampage are still shorthanded for 47 more seconds. Well, maybe. Shoot, I don't know. Oh, we picked up the puck. So we can kind of test the stickiness. The sticky ice just almost, or it did cause a turnover that almost led to a shorthanded goal. Yeah. Yep, it's still pretty swampy. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention when the Zam was going, but all good questions. All good questions. All right, does look like we're going to get going again out on the ice. We've got Foster, Whitted, Butler, and White. 47 seconds left on the PK. Face off outside the Okanagan zone. And on the draw, there was something that somebody didn't like, so we got to whistle immediately. One more time. Puck into the Okanagan zone. They send it over to the far side. Whitted applying pressure on the forecheck. Puck down low in the zone or in the corner. Okanagan regroups back behind their net. They're going to skate to the far side. Up and out. Into neutral ice. They're going to dump it into the Rampage zone. It bounces around to the near corner. Okanagan drives it back the other way. White gets in there, breaks it up momentarily, sends it up and out in the distance, and that will clear the puck. Okanagan turning around, coming back the other way. Okanagan to the far side. Shot taken goes up and over. And we do have another penalty coming to the Rampage. That puck was played with the high stick, so we're going to have a stoppage. $18:59 left in period number 3. And I believe we've got a 2 and 10 coming to Foster. I didn't see the hit. I truly didn't see it. I only saw the aftermath. So, out on the ice. So, and Rampage, we're back at full strength. So we're going to be back on the PK. We'll be at 4. We've got Bisley, Freitas, Dormer, and Bennett on the ice. Two and 10 assigned. Puck comes back to Bisley. He's going to turn and dump it in hard. Okanagan goaltender wrinkles it in back behind the net, and actually Dormer got in there for a second. Okanagan regains control. Pass across to the far side. Over to the near side. Bisley wrangles it in, chips it up for Dormer. Dormer turns. He's into the zone on the near side. Tied up down low in the corner. Okanagan's going to skate to the far side. Into the Rampage zone. Bisley skates it to the far corner. Turns, sends it up the wall. Okanagan regains control, sends it over to the near side. Back into the Rampage zone. White's going to come back for it. White drives it to the far side, sends it up the wall, up and out. Whittingham's going to be the first one in the zone. Okanagan goaltender makes a move. Whittingham almost steals it from him, and now he's going to tie things up on the far wall. Banyan gets in there, sends it over to Butler on the near side. And it appears we're going to send one from each team to the box. There's a little extracurricular behind the puck. 59 seconds left on the penalty kill, 17:57. Out on the ice to take over on the PK, we've got Butler, Judkins, White, and Sarver. Puck gets sent into the Okanagan zone. They send it back down in the corner on the far side. Sarver in on the forecheck. Okanagan skates to the far side. Up and out of the zone. Across the red line, they're going to dump it into the Rampage zone. Shields slows it down and ends up in the near side corner. Puck bounces around to the far wall. Comes up to the point. Okanagan holds it at the blue line. Sends it back down low. Butler gets there. He turns and fires at the distance. 32 seconds left on the penalty kill. Okanagan goaltender is going to hold it up behind his net. Okanagan picks it up down low. He's going to turn with it. Up and out of the zone. into the Rampage zone, and then Butler sends it back down the distance again. Server's in on the forecheck. 15 seconds left on the penalty kill. Okanagan holds up in the corner on the near side. They're going to try and skate with it. Off the wall, and Sarver with the steal. He turns it around. Down low into the corner on the near side. Puck tied up down low. Flanagan's in there to help out. I'm sorry, it's Drexel. Drexel's in there to help out. Puck comes up to the blue line. Rampage is back to full strength. Puck down low in the corner on the far side. Up to the point. Back down low into the corner. Puck runs around to the near side. Sarver's going to get there. Sends it up to Bisley on the blue line. Bisley holds it. Drexel comes up, picks it up. Gives it back to Sarver. Sarver sends it across to the far corner. Puck gets tied up back behind the net, and we have a penalty coming to Okanagan. So with 16:29 left in period number 3, Rampage is going to be on the power play. I don't think to get us started on the power play. We've got Flanagan, Dormer, Freitas, Banyan, and White. That gets tied up in the pile. Okanagan gets to it, and they're going to clear it. It's going to go back into the Rampage zone. Shields drops it behind the net. White's going to pick it up and skate to the near side. White up to Freitas. Freitas across to Dormer. Dormer feeds it into the zone, down low, Banyan into the corner. Banyan up the boards looking for Dormer. Dormer sends it back down to Banyan. Banyan back to Dormer. Dormer across, off the boards. Freitas up to White. White takes a shot from the blue line, bouncing around up front. And Okanagan sends it up and out to neutral. White recollects the puck, sends it over to Freitas. Rampage tag up. Freitas makes a move. He's in the zone, drops it to Banyan. Banyan takes a shot. Goaltender makes a save. He's going to hang on. 15:46 left in the period. 1:17 on the power play. Get a fresh power play unit out on the ice. It looks like we've got Drexel, Butler, Whitted, Judkins, and Sarver. That goes down low in the corner. Okanagan rims around the boards, takes a weird bounce, and now they're going to clear it into, I thought it hit something outside. Apparently not. Butler picks it up behind his own net. Butler up to Whitted on the near side. Whitted up to Sarver. Sarver behind his back, and now puck going back and forth in neutral ice. Butler over to Sarver. Sarver skates to the far side, takes the red line. He's going to dump it in. Puck rims around the board to the near side. Up to Butler at the point. Skates the blue line. Shot taken. Deflects off a body and ends up in the corner on the near side. Puck down low. It's going to go to the far corner. Sarver gets in there, mixes things up. Now Okanagan's going to turn and clear. Only 30 seconds left on the power play. Butler's going to have to come back for it. He picks it up behind his net. Butler makes a move. Feeds it up to Bisley. Bisley across to, looking for Rahosian, just behind him, and now it gets poked into the Okanagan zone. Okanagan sends it to the far side. That doesn't connect, but it doesn't matter because they're on the penalty kill. Puck goes up to the far wall. Roberts wrangles it in. He's going to turn with it. Roberts turns and looks. He's going to skate to the far side. Sends pass up off a Whittingham stick. It's in on net and now into the near side corner. Puck back behind the Okanagan net into the near corner. Things tied up down low. Roberts and Whittingham are in here to do battle. And Okanagan is back at full strength. Still tied up down low in the corner. Puck comes up and out of the zone. Bennett's going to pick it up. Skates to the near side. Dumps it hard. He is just a couple of steps from the red line. And subjectively, they're going to blow the whistle for icing. So at 13:53 left in period number 3, faceoff comes back to the Rampage zone. Out on the ice, we've got Freitas, Fewer, Flanagan, White, and Dormer. tied up on the near sideboards. Comes up and out of the zone. And then back into the Rampage zone. Okanagan off the wall. Shot taken. Shields with the save. He's going to hang on. Another face-off in the Rampage zone. It looks like we're going to get Whittingham out to rejoin his traditional line with Freitas and Dormer. Puck down low into the corner. Viewer sends it up off the boards. Now Freitas picks it up. He turns it. He's into the Okanagan zone on the far side. Centering pass, bouncing around, and now Whittingham wrangles it in, takes a shot. I think the goalie got a piece. It ended up on the far wall. White sends it down the wall hard. It ends up in the near corner. Whittingham gets in there, ties things up. Freitas feeds it out front for Dormer. Comes back to Freitas down low. Up the near wall. Whittingham to Fewer. Takes a shot, deflects off of the stick, up into the netting and out of play. 13-11 left in period number 3. On the ice, we've got Banyan, Whitted, Drexel, Butler, and Bennett. Okanagan wins the draw, turns around back behind their net, sends it to the far side wall. Through neutral, chips it into the Rampage zone. Puck goes down low into the corner. Bennett gets in there. Banyan's in there as well. Puck goes up the far wall. Gets sent into the near corner. Banyan flips it up in the air. It's out to neutral. Whitted chips it. It's into the Okanagan zone. Down low into the corner. Drexel gets in there to help tie things up down low in the corner. Comes up the wall. Okanagan's got it. They turn off the wall to neutral ice to the near side in the Rampage zone. Shot taken, goes up and over, ends up on the far wall. Bennett gets in there, tries to tie things up. Okanagan somehow gets the puck back. Drexel turns, sends it the distance, and we get a whistle for icing. So 12-11 left in period number 3. Faceoff's going to be back in the Rampage zone. We'll get some fresh skaters out on the ice. We've got Sarver, Judkins, Flanagan, Fewer, and Bisley. Puck comes up to the point, shot, deflects, and ends up back behind the Rampage net. Into the corner on the near side. Judkins feeds it around the boards to the far side. Flanagan tries to get in there. Puck ends up. Shields makes a leg save. Sarver backhands it up and out of the zone. Takes a push from behind into the boards. Play will continue. Puck comes over to Sarver on the near side. Into the corner. Sarver makes a move. Pushes it across to the far side. Puck comes up and out. Fewer's going to come over and get it in his zone. Pass out to the far side. A little back and forth at neutral ice. Okanagan come back the other way. Butler knocks it out of the air. He's going to skate it to the far side. He's up and out of the zone. Feeds it up. Okanagan with it in their own zone. Across to the near side. They feed it back behind their net. Out to neutral ice. Bisley's going to chip it in and give a reverse check. Okanagan sends it to the far side wall. They're up and out to neutral. Chip it into the Rampage zone. Butler after it in the corner. Comes up the wall on the near side. Rosen gets in there. He takes an elbow to the head from behind into the boards and then a cross check as a follow. White sends it up and out. And that's going to be icing. With 10:40 left in the game, we get an icing whistle. Faceoff's going to come back into the Rampage side zone. Out on the ice, we've got White, Whittingham, Dormer, Freitas, and Bennett. Puck into the near corner. White feeds it up to the point and doesn't make it out of the zone. Little bouncing around. Bennett's got it on his stick, sends it up to Freitas. Off of his stick into the Okanagan zone. Dormer in on the forecheck. Puck bounces out front. Freitas with a shot. Goaltender got a leg pad on it, I think. Up to the White at the point. Out of the corner, across to the far side. It's going to come out of the zone. Bennett's going to send it back in. Rampage has to tag. Puck back across to the far side. Out to the far wall. Dormer tries to wrangle it in. Now Okanagan sends it up and out of play from inside their own zone. So face-off will be in the Okanagan zone with exactly 10 minutes left to play in the game. Out on the ice, we've got Drexel, Fewer, Whitted, Banyan, and Bisley. Rampage win the draw up to Bisley. Shot from the point. Goaltender makes a save, and he's going to cover it up. So we'll get one more just like before. Tied up on the draw. Bounces out front, and it's going to come out of the zone. Fewer wrangles it in. Skates it to the near wall. It comes off the wall. Okanagan turns with it and sends it into the Rampage zone low. Drexel sends it around to the near side. Whitted pulls the puck off the wall, gets tripped up, and he's going to poke it across the far side. Centering pass. Whitted's going to turn, send it up to the point, but not out. Puck bounces off the wall. Whitted pulls it out of the air. Puck now comes up and out. Banyan's going to poke check it. Okanagan recollects, sends it across to the near side. They're back into the Rampage zone. Shot taken. Shields with the save. Bouncing around out front. Bisley gets there. The puck comes up, but not out. Pass out front. Shields with a save from somebody who had him dead to rights in the low slot right at the top of the crease. 9:05 left in period number 3. And Okanagan coming back with a little bit of heat. Rampage need to keep it dialed up. Out on the ice, we've got Sarver, Judkins, Butler, White, and Flanagan. Puck down low into the corner. Butler sends it around to the far side to White. White up the wall on the far side, up and out of the zone. Okanagan recollects. They turn around with it. It comes back to Butler. Butler sends it up for White. White turns with it over to Judkins, to Flanagan. Flanagan fans on it in the zone. Puck goes to the far wall, and now Okanagan coming back the other way. They take the far side shot. Shields gets a piece. It's going to rim around the near side wall, up and out of the zone. Sarver on the forecheck down low. Okanagan sends it around to the far corner. Up the wall on the far side, comes up and out. It doesn't connect, and that should be icing, and is indeed. 8:26 left in the game. Face-off will be in the Okanagan zone. Out on the ice, we've got Rahosian, Bisley, Bennett, Roberts, and Daniel. Rampage win the draw. Daniel centers the pass. It ends up in the near corner. Rahosian gets in there. Puck comes up and out. All right, folks, can you hear me? It should be not muted. Rampage win the draw back into their own zone. White's going to send it across to the far side. All right, folks. I think there was a problem with my other microphone, so I'm trying the other microphone. Hopefully you can hear me now. Okanagan clears the puck. We currently have 1:30 on the power play, 7:22 left in the the game. White's going to come skating out on the near side. Feeds it through, and puck goes to the far side. Comes up the blue line to White. White takes a shot, bounces around. Goaltender makes a save. Oh, bouncing around out front, unable to get it in there. Puck goes into the far corner. Banyan goes in. Whittingham sends it up to White at the point. White feeds it down to Dormer. Dormer across for Whittingham. Whittingham takes a shot, goes off the post and up into the netting and out of play. So with 6:51 left in the game and 58 seconds left on the power play, we'll get a fresh power play unit out on the ice. That power play unit is Drexel, Whitted, Sarver, Butler, and Judkins. Tied up on the draw. Okanagan has it to the far side. They're going to send it into their own bench. .52 seconds left on the power play. And the refs were holding up for a second to have a conversation. Tied up on the draw. Rampage win it. Back to Butler at the point. Skates the blue line, sends it over to Drexel on the wall. Up to Butler at the blue line. Over to Judkins on the near side. Back to Butler. Shot taken. Goaltender makes a save. Whitted turns. Goaltender gets a piece of that one. Ends up in the far corner. Drexel up to Butler. Butler down to Judkins. Back to Butler. Shot. Goaltender has it in his glove. He's going to hang on. We'll get another face-off. Do we have another penalty coming? I think we have another penalty coming to Okanagan. So, with 6:21 left in the game, Rampage will be 5-on-3 for the next 28 seconds, followed by, a minute and 32 of 5-on-4. Puck goes down into the corner. Drexel gets there, sends it up the boards to Butler on the far point. Butler skates the blue line. Back to Drexel in the far circle. Tries to feed it through. Puck ends up coming through to Bennett on the near side. Over to Butler. Butler takes a shot from up high. Bounces around, ends up on the near side wall. Bennett down to Sarver. Back up to Bennett. Over to Butler. Shot taken, goes wide of the net, ends up on the far wall. Bennett skates up off the wall, takes a shot. Goaltender makes a save. He's going to hang on. And Okanagan is back at 4. So 5:51 left in the game. Rampage have 1 minute and 31 seconds of power play time with a one-man advantage. Out on the ice to take back over, we've got Freitas, Banyan, White, Whittingham, and Dormer. Puck ends up down low in the corner. Back behind the net. Whittingham gets there, skates to the far side. Up the far wall, pinched at the wall, and now Dormer feeds it off the wall. Okanagan gets a stick on it. They're going to clear. White has it at neutral, sends it across to the near side. Freitas over to Dormer, over to Banyan. Fed down low. Puck comes loose, ends up in the far corner. Banyan turns with it in the corner on the far side. Feeds it up the wall to Dormer, Dormer back to Banyan down low. Puck bouncing around. It's back behind the net. Whittingham feeds it out front, and Okanagan gets a stick on it. They're going to clear. White's going to have to come back into his zone for it. 48 seconds left on the power play. White skates to the far side, sends it up and out. Freitas wrangles it back in. He's into the zone. Tries to feed it down low, and now Okanagan with the poke check is going to come up and out. Freitas across to the far side to Banyan. Banyan turns with it. Back to Bennett. Bennett skates through neutral. He's into the Okanagan zone on the far side. Down low, back behind the net to the near side. Rahojian gets in there. 14 seconds left on the power play. Puck gets cleared up and out and all the way down, and just 9 seconds left. Butler's going to pick it up behind his net. He skates to the near side. Quick move into the Okanagan zone. Down low, back behind the net. To the near side, up to Bennett at the point. Back down the wall into the corner. Foster skates it into the near side corner. Roberts feeds it out. Goes off of Bennett's stick to the far wall. Down low into the corner. Roberts in there to do battle. He gets kind of punched in the back of the head against the glass. And puck fed down low. And we've got another penalty coming to Okanagan. Puck comes across to Bisley on the near side. He's going to dump it into the zone. Okanagan will tag up, and we get a stoppage. And with 3:42 left in the period, or in the game, Rampage will be back on the power play again. Out on the ice, we've got Banyan, Freitas, Whittingham, White, and Dormer. Puck goes to the far wall. Dormer gets there. He's going to feed it down low for Banyan. Banyan back up the wall looking for Dormer. Actually, it comes up and out of the zone to White. White turns over to Freitas on the near side. Back to White. Skates through. He's into the Okanagan zone. White takes a shot. Goaltender makes a save. Tries to follow it with his own rebound. Puck comes up and out to neutral. Whittingham wrangles it back in. Sends it across to the near side. Freitas off the wall. Bounces back and forth. Whittingham skates it into the zone. Makes a quick move. Whittingham with a shot. Goaltender with the save. Puck gets cleared all the way down. Butler has to come back for it. 1:20 left on the power play. 3 minutes exactly in the game. Banyan back to Butler down low. Fed back to Banyan. Banyan back to Judkins. Judkins comes skating to the near side. Over to Drexel on the near side wall. It's through neutral. He's into the Okanagan zone. Feeds it back to Sarver up top. Sarver down low looking for Whitted. Goes off his skate. Ends up down the corner. Puck behind the net. Okanagan has it on the stick. Unable to clear right now. And puck comes up, and now they do. 48 seconds left on the power play. 2:28 in the game. Butler comes back for it behind his net. He's going to turn with it. Skate it up and out. Over to Drexel on the far side. Into the zone. Gets held up on the wall. Gets poked down low in the corner. Takes a weird bounce. Whitted gets there. Feeds it up to Drexel. Drexel off the wall. Makes a move at the point. Back to the circle. Drexel with the shot. Goaltender with the save. Bouncing around. Whitted tries to get a stick on it. Puck ends up down low. Whitted gets up. Sends the puck up the wall to Bennett at the point. Bennett takes a shot. Goaltender makes a save. That one was a tough one to see. So a good save by the Okanagan goaltender. 1:55 left in the game. 14 seconds left on the power play. And we'll get a fresh power play unit out on the ice. It looks like we got Flanagan, Roberts, Rahojian, Bennett, and Bisley. Puck goes down into the corner, gets tied up down low. Okanagan turns, they send it up and out. Bisley pulls it out of the air. Quick reverse check, and now a little back and forth, and the puck ends up back in the Okanagan zone. Just 2 seconds left. Okanagan sends it to the far wall. Tied up on the far wall. Roberts is going to get there. Puck goes down into the corner, comes around to the near side. Across to the far side, through and into the Rampage zone. Bennett gets there to tie things up. Roberts is there as well. By the way, Okanagan is back at full strength, if I didn't say that already. Robertson, Bennett tying things up. Robertson's it up the wall to Flanagan. Comes up and out of the zone. Okanagan recollects to the near side. Bisley sends it back the other way. A little back and forth right at neutral ice. Okanagan coming back the other way. They're into the Rampage zone. Down low into the corner. Less than a minute to go. Okanagan turns back the other way. Still down low with it. They send it up to the point, the near side. Pass across to the far side point. Bisley's going to get there, sends it hard around the wall, comes up and out. That should be icing, and is. So 30.7 seconds left in the game. Faceoff will be in the Rampage zone. Out on the ice, try to finish things off for us. We've got Whittingham, Freitas, Fewer, Dormer, White. Rampage went back into the corner. Fewer sends it up the wall. Okanagan holds it in there. Centering pass attempt. Back up to the point on the far side. Back down the wall. Up behind the Rampage net. White gets there. Sends it off the wall on the near side. Whittingham clears it. And that is going to be icing again. So with 12.2 seconds, we'll get another face-off in the Rampage zone. Rampage win the draw. White's going to skate to the far side, sends it up. It's out of the zone. Okanagan turns, fires it back in. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and time will expire on the game. So your score after 3, it's 4-1 in favor of your Colorado Rampage. Congratulations, boys. Excellent first period, and still, even after a pretty decisive victory, we've got some Okanagan kids that think that they can still have something to say, I guess. I don't know what that's all about. But nonetheless, nice victory. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Special thank you to Ashton's cat for watching tonight. I don't know why I'm required to do that, but I was told to. So thank you, Ashton's cat. Thanks, everybody. We will see you. Actually, I won't see you next week in Minneapolis.
Shout out Ashton's cat. She texted me and she's like, hey,